What's up, YouTube? Capital G here. Round 4 feature match 2016 World Championships of Yu-Gi-Oh! At Masu Williams versus, I think it's Young-Hoi Choi. I heard Jerome say the name, so I was like, oh my goodness. I'm glad he said it. But Young-Hoi Choi. I believe the B is silent on his name. I think it's pronounced Young-Hoi. Young-Hoi Choi. Alright, so Edmatsu's still playing Monarchs, but if I am not mistaken, I think I see an extra deck up there. I know that at North American WCQs he played Domain Monarchs, but yeah, I think he's playing extra deck Monarchs now. Interesting enough because I believe Pantheism, that card he just played and banished, I believe it's at 1. And I believe that also not only is Pantheism at 1, but Domain is at 1 too. So I see his thumb on Domain. That's pretty much it. And that would be a way to get him Pantheism back. I do believe with Pantheism and Domain being at 1, I think that like Brilliant Monarchs is the way to go because like you see he opened with Brilliant Fusion, or at least he has it now because maybe he may have drawn it off of Pantheism. I don't know. But he's able to send Lazuli to the grave, and if he sends Idia to the grave, he can just like literally get his Pantheism right back. So you know what I mean? Even with one Pantheism, if you can search it with Tenacity or you just draw it, then with Brilliant Fusion, it seems like you can just get the card back. Like, you can get it back multiple times. Now, the question is, what else is he running in this deck that makes it unique? Because, obviously, a couple of slots, Domain and Pantheism are cards that you just can't max out on. So, he's playing the Tenacity. Maybe he's looking at getting a return. And, I mean, he might want to summon Karaz, blow up the, Brilliant Fusion, blow up the Seraphronite. Depends on what he's doing here. All right, so he does get return. He has Monarch, Stormforth, Idia, Karaz, Erebus. All right, so he'll definitely tribute summon. The question is, does he want to blow up some cards and draw more, or does he want to potentially mess up, Young's hand as Young's playing PK Fire? Well, actually, it says Speedroid Phantom Knights. Speedroid Phantom Knights might actually be the better play here because so many of the damn Burning Abyss are Dante's limited, like Graph is limited, Skarm is limited, Sears semi-limited. Like so many of the BAs are limited and stuff. So maybe Speedroids are just flat out better version. I think that's where Phantom Knights are gonna go if like Dante gets banned or if Dante gets limited to 1. I think people are just gonna start playing like Speedroids because there's so many good 3s. He has Solemn, Anti-Spell Fragrance, Ragged Gloves, Taketenberg, and Evac Device. It's spicy to see the Evac Device come back. Alright, so it looks like we might see a tribute summon here of Karaz. Looks like Karaz is going to blow itself up. And is he blowing up return as well? Or no, I think he's tapping on the Karaz saying he's going to trigger that. But okay, he's saying he's not saying I'm going to blow up my return. He's saying I'm triggering it. All right, fair enough. I think he's going to, I'm like, why would you not blow up Brilliant Fusion? That seems like the obvious choice is to simply blow up the Brilliant Fusion. All right, so maybe blowing up Brilliant Fusion, maybe blowing up the set card. Interesting to see so many people playing Anti-Spell Fragrance, man. Anti-Spell Fragrances might end up being the card of this tournament, especially with Young main decking it. That's pretty cool. I actually like the main deck Evac Device even more. I really long for the days, man, where Evac Device is good, guys. I remember last year playing Sortello Knights when Necros were like really good. Oh, okay, so he added back I assume he dumped Idia into the grave off of Brilliant Fusion. Looks like he may have drawn another Brilliant Fusion, actually. Yeah, you don't want that. Yeah, I actually think that he added Pantheism back and he just set it so that he could draw 1. But I remember the days of like last year me playing Teller Knights and Evac just being such a good card. It being like an out to like Genlock, or you could bounce the Colossus back to their hand if they didn't have like Trishula to negate it or whatever. And I just remember it being so good against like every XC that wasn't like Exoton Knight or whatever. So I really would like to go back to a time where Evac was good, but I think that things like Cosmo killed it. Cosmo and Magispectors, man, you just can't play Evac Device. I mean, the Pendulum Summon definitely hurt it too, because what is one Evac going to do when somebody summons 4 monsters? But in a tournament like this, where things like Regeki are banned, and you know what I mean, like some of the power for traps are just like limited and stuff, and you don't have all the power cards. No Regeki, you know, Twin Twister is pretty much your only like back row removal. I think, you know, cards like Evac Device might stand a chance. So it looks like he distributes something for Erebus. Okay, hits a card out of Young's hand. Looks like that's going to go back. I believe it was I think that may have been a strike, actually. Alright, we got a full power shuffle. Yeah, I think he actually, I think it was what's it called? I think he had a strike, and I think it's gone now. So he has an anti-spell fragrance, which might be a little late for that one. Admasu pretty much got to use all his spells. He got to use his Brilliant Fusion. He got to use his return. He got to use his Pantheism. So he's probably already, like, he's already gotten all of his spells that he wanted to pretty much get where he needed to go. So I'm not sure. I actually think I would run that Mega Thestalos and Monarchs under this list, like, guaranteed. Like, a turn 1 Thestalos just seems really strong. Alright, so it looks like he is summoning Prime. Okay. I was wondering why he was banishing. Thought it was a little weird. And is that going to be the end of the play, or is he going for something else maybe? Okay, just showing him that the Tenacity is banished. What's going to be the follow-up? Sets the Monarch Stormforth, and I believe play goes to Young. Young has 5 cards, including the draw that we do not know of. But we know of 5 of his cards, 4 of his cards in hand. So whatever the other card is what he drew. Looks like he's ready to normal summon. Oh no, I think he just set 2 cards and passed. Alright, open field. No, he set 3 cards and passed, so interesting. I don't know which you assume your opponent is playing when you have 3 cards set and you really don't know. Yeah, you really don't know what it is, man. I mean, I just assume people are not playing Battle Traps unless I see a card of the Minds, unless I see like Serteller Knights or something like that. So I have no problem just attacking. Alright, so Amasu just looking at his extra deck really quickly. I wonder if he actually might play 2 copies of Seraphonite, because I think it could be helpful. So he has 2 level 3s in his hand, but one's a Phantom Knight and one's a Speedroid, and they don't particularly work that great together. Alright, looks like he is banishing a return. And looks like he's trying to go for Aether's Effect. Okay, and obviously he'll get a search on for return. What's he looking for here? Oh, he does still play Thessalos. I just saw it. He gets another copy of Erebus. Don't burn yourself out too much, man. Yeah, you don't want to burn yourself out too much. If I'm Young, I'm a little concerned because I'm thinking about maybe taking 5,600 damage this turn. And me not really having that much of a playable hand. Even though Admasu's hand doesn't particularly look that great either. Alright, so Prime is into the graveyard. I'd also be concerned about that Prime too. Because if 2 cards in my back row get blown up and I draw a bunch of cards, but then he OTKs me, I'd be really, yeah, I wouldn't be feeling too great about that. Alright, so not sure if he's declared what he wants to blow up with Karaz yet, but I would not be shocked here if he blew up 2 of Young's face down cards and he just said, alright, I'm gonna try and go for a game next turn. I'm gonna use Prime, I'm gonna see into something big, and I'm just gonna try and go for game. Dude, I'm gonna try and go for game through 1 back row. Because he could bring out the artifact. Like, keep in mind, yeah, he could bring out the artifact, and if that happens to be a defensive card that's not like a Solemn or whatever, he could obviously try and run through it with an artifact. He instead blows up his return to draw 1 card. Okay. Interesting enough. That back row is still sitting there, though, man. That back row is daunting. Again, I think if you were going to do, like, I don't know, man. I may have... Okay, so actually, no. Looks like Young set a monster. Okay, my bad. My mistake. Alright, so he banishes return. Oh, he's playing triple return. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I think most builds are going to play triple. A lot of builds are already playing triple return, especially domain builds. But with one domain, you're definitely going to run. You got to add some Monarch spells. It has to be Monarch spells and traps because otherwise your deck, like everything loses its consistency. You have to be able to send spells and traps to resolve the Monarch effects. He has so many cards in his hand. But again, he has Vanity's Fiend, which can just be the game. Oh man, him playing Vanity's Fiend is huge. Anti-spell Fragrance is flipped over, which does nothing. I say it does nothing because Atmasu already has a solid field. His field's already incredibly strong. I think we could see a Monarch Stormforth. Wait, he could chain. Yeah, he definitely could chain, and he does chain Monarch Stormforth. I think we could see a Vanity's Fiend play, and I think that could be it. I really think that could be tribute for Vanity. Well, actually, I might go into. I think here's what I'll do. I would go into. I think he's going to exceed into Artifact, and then I think he's going to tribute for Vanity's Fiend. I think that's the game. He'll set a card. Well, actually, probably set a. Actually, you might want to set a card first because you don't want to fall into like a random bottle. Well, really the evac. The evac is going to bone you. So you probably want to set a card so that you can use the artifact's effect to change that effect. So that's just my opinion. I would set a card before Xing because he has the evac device. Now, Masu doesn't know he has that, but like if you're going to fall into a solemn, there's nothing you can do about that. But you don't want to fall into a bottomless or a torrential or something like that. So I think before you go into the artifact, I think you just go ahead and set a card. All right. Well, looks like he might be trying to use Strike and go after a card. And Soul Charge is gone. Obviously, there's nothing Soul Charge there. He has no graveyard. Okay, so that's unfortunate for Young. Yeah, I think maybe you just set your Brilliant Fusion. You're not going to use it this game anyways. You've already resolved it, and it would take you a couple of turns to use it anyway. So it's at that point, it's just too slow. He might be thinking about possibly going for a summon of Edia or something like that, maybe. But I do think that artifact looks really nice. Plus the Vanity's Fiend. I think the Vanity's Fiend can be a win condition here. You only have to know about. You only have to play around one face down. The anti-spell Fragrance is largely irrelevant. Okay, let's see what he does. He's thinking here. Okay. He's going to tribute for Erebus. And I still think it's interesting that he did not go for Vanity's Fiend. Vanity's Fiend just seems so good in this situation. Just seems like he can win in the duel. It seems pretty obvious that Young's hand is just terrible. Or Young's his field is just not very good right now. I think Edmatsu should just try and capitalize. Just lock him right out of the game. And we saw he is playing the artifact, the artifact Durunda. We saw it, so maybe he doesn't want to go into it. Maybe he's feeling the solemn that set. Maybe if you think that your opponent has the solemn, I guess it is kind of a risky play. All right, so he's gonna activate Erebus's effect, and I'm thinking he's gonna go after his hand. I don't think you even need to go after the face down card. If it was important, Young would have already He would have already used it. Alright, sends Domain to the grave. No need to use that. And okay, what card are you going after? I wouldn't even go after Ragged Gloves. I don't even think that card does anything right now. He might go after the face down card though, which of course cannot be chained. Alright, it's the evac. He gets rid of it. It cannot be chained. Keep that in mind. Oh, well, he's just going to summon Prime. Actually, no, I think that's game. Okay, well, then I was just totally mistaken. That's my fault. Yeah, he can summon Prime and just succeed, and that's game. He has 28, that's 56. Oh, he only needs to find 2,400 more damage. He can just bring out, like, any random rank 5 and just kill him. Or he could just go for a random rank 5 and then overlay Gaia on top of it and just kill him. Okay, that was my fault. Yeah, he has game. Didn't even see the obvious play here. He can't chain the evac because Erebus doesn't target, which means he needs to activate the card before Erebus is resolved. Okay, yep, totally my fault. All he has to do is just go for the Prime play, and he's got game. That's a clean 8,000. Wait, does he have another Prime? Is he not going for Prime? Okay, what's he doing? Okay, search, but wait, you can't play anti-spell fragrance. Okay. Wait, did he use prime this turn? Okay, well, I must be lost. Maybe he already used prime this turn. Okay, then I'm sorry. I'm just lost. I am just psyching myself out. Wow. But he definitely can activate tenacity because anti-spell fragrance is on the field. Huh. For some reason, I thought that prime was not used this turn. Okay, because I'm like, you could just summon prime and just exceed, and that's like game, right? Just banish that domain and exceed using the 2 primes. Those will give you 2 level 5s. You could just make anything pretty much at that point and just win. And Masu, I hope you didn't outthink yourself here. Okay, well, not quite game. He does do a lot of damage here. He does 56. I probably would have put the I probably would have considered putting that prime in attack mode, honestly. Just to put him at just to put him absolutely in the danger zone. Masu is setting everything possible. I also don't think so he did wait, so he does have prime available? He does have the prime play available. Oh, why didn't he just succeed then? Okay, I'm lost. So if he did have prime available before battle phase, why didn't he just banish and then exceed? Furthermore, why isn't he making Artifact Durandal right now to potentially stop any sack plays? I mean, granted, he can't just play like a Dark Hole or whatever because he has to set it first. But he has a Solemn, which is terrible. He top decked the Solemn, which is just terrible in this situation because he's almost dead. He gets a Fog Blade. That's, I guess, okay. I just don't understand why he didn't go and exceed. Okay. I thought that, I'm like, did he already use the prime? Because if not, why didn't he just go prime and then, like, he could have won the Artifact Durandal. Like, that, I think that would have ended the game. I think off the top, Artifact Durandal has, like, either 24 or 25 attack. And Young has, like, 2,400 life points. So that would have definitely killed him. Or in main phase 2, I don't understand why he didn't go for Artifact Durandal. There has to be something that I'm missing here. Like, I'm like 90% certain that you could use 2 prime. I mean, I don't play Domain or Brilliant Monarchs, but I'm like 90% certain that you can like exceed using 2 primes because they count as like monsters. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. I'm pretty sure that I'm like totally wrong or something, but I don't know. Maybe I just missed a play, but I'm pretty sure that you could exceed using 2 primes. I believe he has another Stormforth, doesn't he? Yeah, I think he has another Stormforth. I don't even think he has to attack this this monster, whatever it is. I think he can just like tribute summon for Karaz and just like blow the back row up. And if it gets Solemn, like who cares? You still, I mean, I think he'd have to like Fog Blade. I don't know. Oh, he activates a second Brilliant Fusion. Okay, I want to see if he plays 2 Seraphonites. Okay, yeah, I think he should play 2 Seraphonites. I mean, it's not like Monarchs really need the extra deck space. Sends Lazuli and Edea. Edea will trigger, getting him a banish, what's it called? And he plays 2 Seraphonites. So Edea's going to trigger. That gets him, okay, gets him, I believe it's Strike. I don't run that card. Excuse me, Frost Blast. Yeah, Frost Blast, okay. Dude, you cannot play, oh my goodness. He's totally whiffing on this whole anti-spell. Don't tell me he's going to get a warning. Okay, I'm making sure he's not getting a warning. I'll be like, dude, that would be really, really silly to get a warning for like something like that. Because that's the second time he's tried to activate a spell with anti-spell fragrance on board. And he just constantly keeps forgetting about it. I don't think he's trying to cheat or anything. That'd just be silly. But if you do it enough times, you might, get a penalty. So Frost Blast, I know, is a card that's it requires you to have a Monarch on board, blows up spells and traps. I don't think it's necessary though. Like it blows up a set card. I mean, it could hit the Solemn or whatever, but I just don't think it's really necessary. I mean, I don't know. I think you could just see. If you fall into a Solemn, your opponent only has like 900 light points, so you're pretty much like in a good position at that point. Yeah, I think Masu is probably overcomplicating this play. I think he's just playing too safe. Yeah, I think he's playing a little too safe here. That might be it. All right, and I mean, I would still go for the Exceed play. Can you go into Pallades also? Pallades would be even better than the artifact now. Alright. Fog Blade is gone. Didn't do much for him. Okay. Goodbye, Fog Blade. Now the question is... Alright, Tribute Summon for Karaz. Alright, Karaz is targeting the set card, Solemn Strike. He does not chain. Okay, and he lets it get blown up to draw 1. And then he goes for Erebus. If he can resolve Erebus and that's not an effect veiler, then this game's over. Scoop phase. Alright, Scoop phase. Young says, I've had enough. We're going to game 2. And that seemed to be a bodying, but I still wonder why he didn't... use the 2 primes to exceed. There has to be something there. Like, I'm pretty sure you can exceed using 2 primes. I mean, I don't play Brilliant. I never played Brilliant Monarchs, so I don't know, but I don't see why you wouldn't be able to, because they totally count as monsters. Alright, so they're siding going into game. Boom, boom, boom. Going into game 2. So what is Speedroid side in? Cast Trap Holes, maybe. What do Monarchs side in? Hate to say this, but I still think Stygian Dirge is really good here. I mean, it would hurt your Exceed plays, but not by much. I mean, it would stop the what's it called, the Speedroid Phantom Knight player from even doing anything. Crush Card Virus, interesting. Is that Masu playing that? I wouldn't recommend playing it against Speedroids or Phantom Knights. I don't think like Speedroid, some of their monsters are too small. He sides in. Who's siding Ferret Flames? That card is so damn troll.
What it was in the deck. I was helping translate all of the card names, and this was the one card I'd never seen before.
Ferret Flames. Yeah, I've got a guy on my live stream named Sahir that loves that card. That card is like ultimate troll. All right, I think I may have saw a DD Crow being sided in. DD Crow, not terrible against Monarchs. You can get rid of some problematic cards like Prime and... let's see, what else can it get rid of? It can get rid of Aether. It can get rid of Erebus so that you can't get them back. I mean, it can get rid of just Monarchs that are just in the graveyard. Although, using DD Crow and Aether is probably not the best card. Yeah, I think the only thing I can really think of for Admasu would be like Stygian Dirge against like a Speedroid Burning Abyss. But for Monarchs, Chaos Trap Holes, man. The entire deck except Estalos is largely like light and dark, so I think that's a pretty solid pick. And especially if he's running the Brilliant Engine, because then he's running Gemknight Garnet, and that would just be another card that you can just, use that Chaos Trap Hole. But then I wonder about life points, because then you're paying like 2,000 for Chaos Trap Hole. You might be like, he's playing strikes too. I mean, granted, you're not going to see all these cards in one duel, but you never know. You don't want to have to take a big punch to the face early in the duel, and then, you open with Solemn Strike plus Cast Trap Hole, and they're just like cards that can't get a monster off the board when it's already there, or you just pay yourself to death. Some negating monsters, and your opponent just summons like one monster and kills you. So we're going to see how this duel is going to go. Trust in the heart of the cards. Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm going to go ahead and see if I can skip a little bit ahead to, what's it called? This is on a delay, so I'm going to see if I can go ahead and skip. Alright. Looks like Young is already finished siding. He's already played his first monster. And his first monster is Terratop. Terratop, Card Trooper, Twin Twisters, Cloak, and Ragged Gloves. So, a 5 monster? That's like a lot of monsters, man. And he got Take Tumberg, okay? Wayamasu, oh, he was cutting. I'm like, how are you still shuffling your deck? Okay, he was just cutting his deck. Yeah, a flooded monster hand, I guess. Card Trooper? Wow, it's been a long time since we've seen that. Ancient Cloak, and Tri-Dye Dice. Okay, Ancient Cloaks aren't bad. It's not bad at all. Alright, Speedroids and Card Trooper. Like a baby Dante, Card Trooper. It's just like a baby Dante, actually. When it gets destroyed, it gives you a card to replace it. Mills 3 goes up per attack, or excuse me, goes up attack per card milled. Wow, you know what? Never actually put that two together. Card Trooper is just like a baby Dante. And it works perfectly in the deck. Look at those prizes. Those look nice. Okay, got the prize glass right there. That is really, really nice. Let me see what they're saying about it.
Playmat we were talking about. Oh yeah, looks really nice. The Top Cut playmat.
Did you get to see the cards?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess there's a what's it called? I guess there's a different playmat for the Top Cut. I gotta go on YG Organization and check out those all the playmats. Yikes! He is spamming the board. Wow, this is incredible. Yeah, he's spamming the board, man. Well, no, I guess only... Okay, my bad. I was looking at his graveyard and thinking that was his board. Okay, only thing he did was summon Takahashi. Although, yeah, okay, looks like he's going to be able to go Levier. Okay, get Ancient Cloak. And Exceed again using Card Trooper. Or maybe not. Maybe he'll summon some Boots. Some Silent Boots. Boots so silent, I can't even hear him. Goes into that limited copy of Dante. No mas. Alright, got a power shuffle here. And damn, Masu can power shuffle fast as hell. It almost looks like it looks like I'm playing the video at like speed and a half or something like that, but I'm totally not. This is running at just regular speed. So what's gonna be the play here? I'm thinking maybe... I don't think he's just gonna leave Card Trooper. I mean, he might. Card Trooper does replace itself, but against Monarchs, you don't know. You never know. Monarchs, Stormforth, whatever. Mills Solemn Warning. Gets himself Fog Blade, a card that's super stupid good against Monarchs. And still has a Twin Twister, which he can obviously pitch Ragged Gloves for. So, I think he's in commanding position to win this duel. I mean, even if you would like to think that Fog Blade can handle at least one summon to stop Monarchs, unless it's Twin Twister or whatever. Twin Twister, the Fog Blade, and then maybe like I don't know. Like yeah, if you're a Twin Twister and your Fog Blade get Twin Twister, then that's probably not so good. Alright, I believe he opened with Foolish Burial. No anti-spell though. I've always been kind of on Foolish Burial on Monarchs. Oh, so it's the new prize card. That prize card, it's a pendulum. It looks so good.
Yeah, they look fantastic.
I'm actually...
Can't wait for tomorrow for you guys to be able to see the Top Cut playmat. I see those up close.
I'm actually very disappointed that the
Twister here because it gives you preemptive weight.
Okay, I'm actually very disappointed that this new monster that's on this playmat is just a world print card because like look how good it looks. Okay, I was like, what is that monster? I was like, it can't be Norton. Alright, that Masu summons into the Fog Blade. I think he just actually signaled that he's passing. Yeah, Masu's hand this is where people call Monarchs a brick deck. I mean he has just nothing. Foolish Burial, Edia, Karais, 2 Erebus's. It's a 5 monster hand and a Foolish, and you're just not doing anything. And honestly, I fully expect him to get OTK'd here, to be honest. Unless Young just doesn't go YOLO, but Monarchs don't play any important hand traps. Bunch of duels going on. I'm kind of surprised that each duel doesn't have like a table judge, just because of all the communication issues. Like, yeah, I'm legit shocked that there isn't a judge on each table just because of communication. Because you're gonna have so many players who just don't understand what their opponent might be doing because of language barriers, and not because of, what their opponent not because of any type of like improper play or anything like that, foul play. It's just like it's a language barrier. You know, if you're lucky enough to go to Worlds and you're from, let's say you're from North America, you're from like Canada or something, and maybe you speak English, but you're playing against somebody who's from like the Netherlands or something, or Tokyo, maybe China, or Brazil, South America, Latin America, like they might not speak English. You might speak French. Maybe you're from Quebec. All right, so I'm looking for Speedroid Phantom Knights to just put the screws to him, man. Looking for, I mean, all he has is nothing but a little squire on the field. You can eliminate that thing so quickly. Keep in mind, he still has a Leviair effect too, and that's the reason why I'm like, yeah, I think this can be some big damage. Dante making an appearance even when the deck runs 0 Burning Abyss in the main deck. Okay. 2 copy of Boots. Think it's time to bust out the Break Sword. Okay. Gonna go ahead and pop maybe. Yep. Okay. Pop the Eidos. Pop the copy of. Go ahead and pop the copy of Fog Blades. XC into another big monster. Well, you can go into Leviair number 2. Okay. Here's a second copy of what's it called? Of blanking out on the Break Sword. Okay, like blanking out on the name there. Break Sword, second copy. It's a lot of damage, man. 2000, 2018, 25. That's game. Unless the Dante has like, unless he just didn't use Dante's effect. 25 plus 2000 plus 2000 is 65 plus 18 is 83, right? So unless there's something I'm missing here, the Fog Blade, or not Fog Blade, Break Sword is 2000, like I think it is. And if Dante sent 3 cards, like I think he did, that's 83,000. I could be, or 8,300, excuse me. Yep, GG. All right, so that duel was pretty swift. Let's see if we can get to go into game 3. All right, still a little bit of siding. I just try and get the try and fast forward through the siding, because sometimes they, what's it called? All right. I'm not sure who's going first. Looks like Young opened up with Trooper, Anti-Spell, Twin Twister, Ragged Gloves, and Silent Boots. And Masu opened up with that Pantheism and Saddle Monster. This could be kind of bad for Ed Masu. I don't know. Well, he plays Flying Sea, so maybe I spoke too soon. And Ed Masu has Twin Twister as well. Okay. So Cloak is played. And then here comes Boots. Flying Sea is thrown down so that he cannot Exceed Summon. Maybe he might have to move to Battle Phase. I mean, just be glad you're not playing. Be glad you're not playing Burning Abyss. Otherwise, your shit would have blew itself up. And you'd have lost your Burning Abyss, and you wouldn't be able to Exceed. Unless by chance it was forfeit at your normal summons. But you still would lose both of your monsters anyway, so you still wouldn't be in that great of a position. Now, I think what Admasu did was either he sent Idia, or he's going to plan on Twin Twistering Idia. Wait, what?
Add 800 attack and defense to a dark monster while switching itself to defense position. Attack and defense.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I didn't have a clue that did that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what? I'm like, dude, how did his Ancient Cloak get put in defense mode? I was like, what? I am missing something here. So, looks like 2 cards were set. I think Twin Twister is immediately going to be played. The only question is he going to pitch? What is in his hand? Oh, he pitched Idia. Okay. I was thinking maybe he saved the Idia in his hand, and obviously that will get him the Pantheism back. And I think he lost his Twin Twister as well. Okay. Pantheism is added back to the hand. So he has the Monarch Stormforth. Does he have Erebus? He does. He has a really good player. Because he can basically get rid of both of those Phantom Knights. Yeah, he can get rid of both of the Phantom Knights. And I guess he'd have to attack over. Yeah, he would have to get a Surge. And he would have to attack over. He'd have to attack over his copy of Flying Sea. But he would get a Surge. He would get Prime in the Graveyard. He'd get pretty much set up. Pantheism is in hand. So, some pretty good plays there. It says that Masu has a Flying C in his hand. I mean, no way. Does he have another Flying C? I don't know if I believe that, where he has like another Flying C. Because he already played one, so it's kind of hard to believe that he has like another Flying C. I do kind of like how the players are like somewhat mic'd up.
Get rid of the Flying C.
Yeah,
And he's going to be able to get some searches in.
yeah. These guys are really playing well here.
Okay, yeah, I don't think Edmasu has another Flying C. I think he has the Pantheism in his hand. I think he has Stormforth, and I think he has Erebus. Alright, so it looks like he's just looking at the card text of some PKs. Still doesn't know what Young has in his hand. Young has a lot of cards. I think that, man, Majesty's Fiend could do a lot of work here, too. I don't think he plays it, but I'd love to see a Majesty's or a Vanity's Fiend dropped on the board, because I feel like those could just win. But you have to get rid of the, obviously you got to get rid of the monsters that are already on the field first. So let's see what he does here. He already played, what's it called? He already played his return. Okay. No, it's still saying he has a Flying C in his hand. That's not, I don't think that's a Flying C. I'm pretty sure that that's Erebus. I could be wrong about that, but I don't think so. Keep in mind he could play Pantheism. He doesn't have to activate Stormforth. But maybe he will. We'll see. It's going to activate Stormforth, and time for the Tribute Summon, maybe. Okay, what's going to be the play here? Alright, so goodbye. I think Boots is getting... Alright, I think he's going to tribute the Boots. And he's going to tribute the Eidos. Keep in mind he has ED already in his graveyard. And there goes Erebus. Okay, might want to search a copy of like either Mega Testalos or Aether. I'd probably go Aether, honestly. Alright, I've seen him put Aether already on the bottom of his deck, which means he wants Aether. Okay, there you go. Gets Aether, and probably going to send a Prime to the grave with just like a, I don't know, Pantheism, or not Pantheism, because it's in his hand. Maybe like a Domain, something like that, that you probably won't need outside of like turn 1. Domain's really not that important. Or you could send Frost. Alright, so he does send Frost. Okay. Now the question is, what do you want to go after with Erebus' effect? Do you want to go after the other PK? Do you want to go after his hand? Do you want to, you know, where's the play here? Or what are you prioritizing? Stormforth plus Aether is actually pretty potent of a combo. Because if your opponent just tries to drop any XC, you're just like, nope, Stormforth instantly. Goes after the back row. No, excuse me, that was his hand. Card in his hand, okay. It was set on the field, so I'm like, how's that back row? The back row was all Twin Twister. The back row was a Twin Twister and Spell Fragrance, okay. Got some quick power shuffling. And Masu must be a pro at shuffling. He doesn't just so like he's just wham, 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 wham. Seriously, this guy is a shuffling master. This guy needs to quit Yu-Gi-Oh and move to Vegas, become a blackjack dealer or something like that. Alright, so I think he'll probably run over the Ancient Cloak. And then that'll just leave him with the Flying C. And he might leave Young in a situation where if Young wants to get that damn Flying C off the board, he has to waste his battle phase. Otherwise, Masu might be thinking, alright, I'll just wait, and I'll wait until I can drop like 4 monsters and kill him. Okay, what's going to be the play? Man, it makes me wish that people still ran March in Monarchs. Feels bad, man. At least just like 1 copy. That's what I was running. I was running 1 copy of March. I thought 1 copy was fine. Alright, used Eidos. And used Idia. I didn't realize he had he didn't actually use Idia. He just flip summoned. Excuse me, he hadn't used Eidos yet. He just flip summoned it. Okay, looks like he's going for the full gauntlet here. And will there be another tribute summon? I don't know about that. That's the question. Because then you pretty much have used your return up, and you won't be able to do any more plays. Maybe he might be... Oh, no, there is. Alright. He's going to go for Aether, and obviously he'll chain Idia as well. He gets Tenacity, I believe. Okay, so Tenacity, no searching for return because he's already done that. If return was not once per turn, that'd be kind of stupid. Maybe you might think about sending your second prime to the grave. And he does. I'm just surprised that Monarchs have done this well. I think you might send like Domain or Tenacity. Alright, there's a return. He figures already got one on board. Don't need a second one. Emergency call. Why is that on the field? And gets himself a copy of Aether. So double Aether on the fields. Alright. Then he gets Erebus back by pitching Pantheism, and I think he's doing that so that he can search from Pantheism, which I don't believe he's activated. And there it is. There's that search. Okay. Now what's the search gonna be? Yeah, he has to reveal 3 Monarchs. You'd have to imagine that Stormforth and Tenacity might be 2 of the cards. Maybe Escalation might be that 3rd card. Escalation I could actually see doing huge work here. Because, alright, so 2 Stormforth and an Escalation. I mean, really, Youngly has like 1 card in his hand. He's going to be drawing like 2. He gives him Escalation. I think that's going to be set immediately. And I think he wants to go Erebus during your turn. Alright, so once again, he decides to give him Escalation. Because, I mean, he already knows he blew by your Twin Twisters, though. Just be careful here. I think the duel is obviously in Masu's favor. Activates Tenacity. Okay. And what is he going to get? The Monarch Stormforth is coming right back. Bring it back. Okay. All he has to do is just make sure he doesn't run out of Monarch spells and traps. And I think this game probably should be his. Alright, got an 8 card or an 8 pile shuffle. I wonder if anybody runs any rank 8s in Monarchs. I would just be like disgusted. Come on now. This is a tribute summon deck. We don't need an extra deck to begin with. But how dare you use our big Monarchs for Xyz? Little Monarchs, I don't give a fuck about those. You want to run Kaias or something like that, that's fine. Alright, battle phase, clear all the monsters out. Set Stormforth in Escalation. Has Erebus in his hand. Aether bounces and play will resume back to Young. Looks like he topped Ragged Gloves. Or no, I think that was actually in his hand before. He got Silent Boot, so he has an all PK hand. Problem is, if he goes for any Exceed, that shit's gonna get tributed so fast, or it's gonna get spun. He can't go for Break Sword. Obviously, it's just gonna get like tributed by Stormforth for like Aether or some shit. And the Silent Boots won't do that much, to be honest. So Masu is doing a Furious Pile Shuffle, and I don't know, man. I feel for you, Cho, but I think you might have to hold this L, buddy. I think Masu just got too many monsters on board in the first, like, he just threw so much on the board. You know what I mean? And your Anti-Spell Fragrance didn't really resolve, so I'm not sure exactly. Yeah, not that you can't use your extra deck, man. Because, again, if he tries to use his extra deck, the Monarch Stormforth is just not going to have it. Alright, Banishing. Okay, I thought he was going to summon Prime, but no, he was using that for Aether's effect. My bad. Okay. Goes for Aether. Okay, activate effect. Yeah, be careful. You don't run out of Monarch spells and traps. Yeah, you have to be really careful here. Because that has to be one with different names. I don't agree with this play. Oh, he brought out Dark some more. Oh my god, he's still using that. No effing way. He must put him on a bunch of spells and traps. Well, he knows he has Fall Blade. Wow. What he doesn't know is, yeah, I guess what he doesn't know is that Young has 2 monsters in his hand. But I still think Escalation plus Stormforth can really mess that play up. Let me read that card art some more. Let me see if they're going to talk about it for a second.
So it's not like Dante's going to be able to take a cheap snipe at any of these monsters or anything.
Let's see. One of those ragged gloves we can pop up his break sword if he wants it.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
What's it called? Street as a win.
The fog.
Alright, so he's going for gloves. Okay, ragged gloves. There's boots. Baby boots. And he just has 1 card in hand. We already know what it is. And Masu remembers what it is too. It's Fogblade. The question is, how does he deal with the Exceed? That is definitely coming here. He's going to activate Escalation. At this point, I think it's pretty much just simple. You can just wait for him to Exceed. And you just... What's it called? No, looks like he's just going to activate Stormforth now. Is he going to tribute something now, though? Because just because he activates Stormforth doesn't mean... He doesn't have to tribute something immediately. He can wait. He's just saying that it's resolving. Escalation allows him to tribute summon, you know what I mean, at like during the battle phase and all types of stuff. Looks like he's just gonna go ahead and go Erebus. Okay. All right, so 1 card's getting thrown away. Returns getting searched, and actually, I think he might take MegaCapitalG here. All right, never mind. GG, as he's able to clearly pull off the OTK. As long as Edmasu had 2 more Monarch spells and traps in his deck, which it appears that he did, he would have had 3 28s on board. And actually, 3 28s, is that 76? What was his life points? Let me see. 8,000, 28, 28, 28. Okay, well... He was, okay, well, you know what? He searched out a copy of Aether, and I think the Speedroid player just scooped because he was like, I can't come back against that. Especially knowing that he couldn't even set the copy of Fallblade, like that could have done it. I was just shocked that Dart, like he's still playing that Dart some more. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I understand how so many people lost to that shit, because you just, like, who sees that coming? Like, you think, oh, he's out of Monarchs, and he just summons a fucking Dart some more, and then you can't set anything. So, alright, boys, I'll come back with round 5. It may not be today, but I'll definitely have it. If not today, then it'll definitely be up tomorrow.